I felt it was something I needed. I think everybody should do something that takes them out of their everyday life. I've never really used that as a priority until probably 18 months ago, and then I started playing golf and I just love it. I feel as though I need a green jacket.
Few people have built a career quite like you. Before cricket, you could have easily been a professional footballer. Instead, you became an England fast bowling star, an Ashes hat-trick hero, a Yorkshire captain, and one of the game's great entertainers. But because that's not quite enough, you waltzed onto the Strictly Come Dancing stage and became the first male celebrity ever to lift the Glitterballs trophy. You moved into broadcasting, becoming a hugely popular radio host, and then stepped into a major leadership role at your beloved Yorkshire County Cricket Club when they needed stability most. Now, golf is an important pillar in your life. You've played incredible courses in incredible company, and you've been a long-standing member of the Stuart Golf family as well. So Darren Gough MBE, it's a great pleasure to have you here on the Stuart Golf podcast, here at Centurion, where we just had a knock on the lovely course here. So before we get into some golf stuff, let's go back a little bit and pick through some of the amazing memorabilia that you've brought for us. I don't even know where to start. Where would you want to start us on this?
Well, the thing is, I'm a collector, so I love, in general, I've been to lots of charity events myself, and I've collected stuff like Churchill's, Elvis, Eric Clapton guitars. As far as my own career's concerned, as I've gone around, I've given a lot away to charity, and I regret some of the stuff I have actually given away, which would probably be worth a lot of money these days. But I've kept a lot of things that I consider quite personal to me. Let's start with a simple thing, the caps. So it all started for me, I made my debut in 1989. In 1993, I got my Yorkshire cap. So that's pretty precious. I think that is the original Gough and name inside it. That's my original Yorkshire cap. Means a lot to me, still does.
So how old were you at that point?
By then I was 23, but I made my debut as a 19-year-old. Then the next cap that came was the one-day international cap, which people might not recognise this one. And there's not many people probably got these now, so anybody of the modern day cricketer, because it's all now under the three lions. But you used to play a one-day international, you got a lion on its own. So that was the next one. That was against New Zealand at Edgbaston. Then came the Test cap in '94. That was against New Zealand at Old Trafford. So you see the difference, the three lions and the crown with the red in it there. Now it's just all one kind of colour ECB badge. So I really feel these caps are precious because they just look so much better than the modern day badge. So that came next. Then my first tour to Australia. England, we used to tour under the St George Dragon, MCC colours, and that was the badge. That was to Australia in 94 winter, 95. And then the last cap that came for me, really, was the Essex one. I think it was 2004, my first year. So that's the Essex cap. And again, means a lot to me. I enjoyed playing away from Yorkshire for a short period, pushed my career when I think it needed it. When I got serious injuries, I had serious injuries. So I went and experienced life at another county.
And what's this one with the numbers?
And that's the celebration cap. When Andrew Strauss took over England, we got all the players that had played for England together in a room, and they got these caps. Obviously, no matter whether you got one cap or 100 or 200 caps, everybody turned up at the same room and you got what they call a celebration cap.
And just talk through the numbers.
I do think these are really special. And obviously this is the badge they use now. And then we get the three numbers. I always know these numbers off by heart anyway, because they're tattooed on my body. But 568, I was the 568th Test player to play for England. 126, the 126th person to play one-day internationals. And 3, I was the third player, alphabetical order, to play T20 because I played in the first one.
Played the first one.
Towards the end of my career, T20 became, I played the first one in 2005, and obviously I retired in 2006,
Yes.
and we only played one a year. So I think I did all right with that. So, but at least I got those numbers, and yeah, so they're the caps. I'm pretty proud of those caps.
And the things with those caps is that obviously you've rattled through half a dozen of those kind of things, but the numbers are significant. So sitting here as the most amateur of amateur sports people, to think that you're one of only a few hundred people to have ever done that for your country is really significant.
It is amazing. I think, I don't know what number we're up to now, Test cricket. We might be 800 now. I'm not quite sure, but I've been retired since 2000. Test cricket, I retired 2003.
And when was the first test? In 18...
That's 20, well,
something?
Well, 22 years I've been retired. I can't believe it.
Let's skate over that a little bit.
Yeah, but so like I said, and that's since Test cricket started.
Yeah.
Many years ago, right?
So
a long time ago.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go on? I've got lots more things.
Let's go through some of the others. So,
I'm trying to think what went next.
Well,
this one.
yeah, go ahead.
96, World Cup, my first World Cup. There it is. I mean, look at that. Can you imagine wearing that in India, Sri Lanka? Just feel that. You'd be sweating so much. It's not like the up-to-date material-wise.
This feel, you know what it feels like? My old school rugby top.
They weren't really slimming tops either, were they?
But it's thick, isn't it?
We used to wear them. I mean, compared to what they are now, lightweight. I mean, that weighs a ton, doesn't it?
That's going to soak up some sweat in that one, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that was in India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka, that World Cup.
So I guess I mentioned it in the intro, but the hat trick in Australia. So there's a couple of bits here that relate to that. So, well, first of all, I guess, how did that feel to be one of the very few people that gets to do that kind of thing anyway? But to bowl the hat trick ball in an Ashes test in Australia, is that unique still?
Well,
Has it happened
for an
since?
Englishman to do it in Australia, the amazing thing is, I think the last one before me was 1888. I did it in 98, and obviously no one's done it since. So it tends to be one English player per century. But for an Englishman going to Australia, it's obviously one of the most difficult places to go, and it's an amazing thing when I look back in my career now and I think, yeah, that is still to this day pretty special. One individual, as an individual moment, I think it's pretty special. And like I say, I've got the ticket, the ball, and the boots from that game. In fact, this boot, I mean, you can show how hard fast bowling is. I mean, this boot, look at that from the side. I used to go through a pair of boots, probably 3 test matches max.
I hadn't spotted the massive hole.
Yeah, I had to have a massive hole because the jamming of your foot on the front foot used to give me a black toenail, and it was so painful when they had to keep drilling it. So the hole helped that situation.
So you had the hole in there. That was intentional when you were playing?
Yeah, I cut that out, and that's why they didn't last very long. So I used to put a little slit in the side there, and I put a hole in the front. And these, I always used to sign my boots towards the end, so I knew they were mine in case people started saying they were mine. And I had different insoles on the bottom, soles. So I signed the boot, and on this one I've got 3-3 in the SCG with a date, and then 5 for in Boxing Day. So these boots actually had 2 great games. Boxing Day test match, which we won, and I got 5 for in the first innings, and then the hat-trick was the next game, and the ticket's in there, got the ticket there from the game as well. There's a ticket.
That's incredible.
Although I had the best seat in the house, I was bowling, but and then there's the shirt with the 3 wickets.
So sorry, is that the ball as well?
Yeah, that's the ball. It was a new ball, obviously, second new ball. There's an hole in it because I had it framed, but I took it off the frame.
Okay.
But that's the second new ball. It's faded a little bit over the years, but that is the ball.
So that's the seam that it bounced off.
Yep, that's the hat-trick. That's the hat-trick ball, mate. And the shirt.
And that was the same shirt.
Shirt signed by the 3 people I got out. I mean, look at the shirt. I mean, is it long sleeve or is it short sleeve? Can't quite work it out.
Well, that was the 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, kit has changed so much over the years.
Well,
yes.
and actually really gracious of the guys to sign it for you as well, that you got out.
Yeah.
Did they? How was that when you were going? Did you sort of go into the dressing room afterwards and like, Lads, any chance?
Well, yeah, because it was the last test of the series, so I did ask them. And look, they were pretty pleased. They've got to remember, I was part of a Ashes hat-trick as well. Shane Warne got me out second in '94. So he got De Freitas, Gough and Malcolm. So he did that in Melbourne, his home ground. And I was part of an Ashes hat-trick. And then I got one the next time I went to Australia. So that, listen, it makes it more special. And then the Prime Minister of Australia at the time, huge cricket fan, John Howard, he sent me, he actually knocked on my room and gave me this book. He says, "Dear Darren, thanks very much for the first hat-trick I have seen. Good luck, John Howard. 5th for the 1st, 1999. And the other book, which I've got about, is the most inspirational man I've ever met. Absolutely amazing. Met him obviously a couple of times, but the first time was 1995. Was the first England Ashes tour since apartheid. So we went over there, and he signed this book, first edition, limited edition, 2nd of the 12th, 1995. Signed by Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing book.
So, slightly away from cricket, talk me through why you brought me these shoes here.
Well, mean a lot, don't they? I think I might have got 467 wickets for England and been a cricketer all my life. But for those who don't know cricket, I'm probably better known as that bloke who did Strictly Come Dancing and won it. So that shoes are signed by all the celebrities who were on the show, one shoe, and the other shoes by all the dancers that were on the show. So yeah, pretty, again, they're the actual shoes I wore in the final. So mean a lot, and probably in a few years they'll be worth probably a few quid. Actual shoes I wore in the final, 13 million people watched it.
I remember listening to you on TalkSport, and then very abruptly, it seemed as obviously you were a Stuart Golf ambassador at the time anyway, but you seemed to go from TalkSport to Yorkshire really quickly. So I know there was some controversy at the time at Yorkshire. The club's in, I think fair to say, a bit of a crisis. And
a big crisis.
A big crisis, yeah. So you step back into there. From the outside in, from a leadership point of view, you go from being obviously international cricketer, senior player, and then it looks like into media, and then all of a sudden you're in a leadership role in a big organisation that's got some serious issues it needs to address. What did you learn through that period? So what was it, three or 4 years you were there?
Yeah, 3 years. I think, look, I was doing well. TalkSport won numerous awards for my presenting, for my broadcasting work, and it had gone well. I'd done it for 12 years, but I'd missed cricket. I'd done my bit, and I couldn't. When I retired, I got offered all these things within cricket, comms and stuff like that, and I wanted to step back from it. A bit like Flintoff, I wanted to do something else. I didn't want to be going away from home for long periods of time again. So I went into broadcasting, and it went really, really well. But then after that, I'd done it for 12 years, and the opportunity came up at Yorkshire, which when they first asked me, I went, "Are you kidding me?" After everything it's going through. But from having non-stop talks for 2 days and realising the mess the club was in, with no sponsors, a lot of people had lost their jobs, which I was ridiculously sad about as well. And all the stories that I were reading were horrible, and you won't wish it on anyone, for everyone involved in the situation. And I thought, can I make a difference? Can I help? Can I help calm the situation? Can I help be part of something that's going to help rebuild the damage that had been done? And I took it on as a challenge, and I knew it was going to have its doubters. I knew it was going to be difficult for people to accept, but I went in for one reason. It wasn't financially. I was leaving a very, very good job that paid me a lot more than the job at Yorkshire was going to do. But it was to be part of something that I could rebuild and show people and to have faith in the club again. But I didn't expect when I went in there for what I saw. We had nothing, no HR, no CEO, no coaching staff, no training staff, a limited ground staff. Everything about it. The club was a ghost town. The players were unhappy. They'd lost a lot of coaches who they had a lot of trust in over the years. They'd seen the club being talked about in the papers every single day. And so, yeah, it was a very, very difficult job. And I was learning. I'm not a CEO, you know. But from my cricketing experience, the sponsors came back. We ended up with more sponsors than the club has ever had. We rebuilt. I think I employed 24 people. I was involved in employing 24 people. The thing is, when I look back now, is but I went back in for it to be a cricketing role, but it ended up being a role that there were things happening all the time and I was involved in that many other stuff. The club was struggling financially. We needed to employ ground staff. We needed to employ cricket operations. We needed to employ academy. We needed to employ physios, physical trainers. And I was involved in every single one of those choices, along with, you know, I mean, 3 other people. I mean, I had to get people in to do the interviews with me. I couldn't just do it on my own because I didn't want it to be like all above board. You can't just pick your mates. It can't be a mates club. And I think that's one of the guilty things for me in sport. In sport, it's not necessarily the best person gets the job. It's if you know people quite close to what you are. So, and I think that's what gets clubs into trouble.
So now you're sort of away from it. Looking back, what do you say you're most proud of about that, the contribution that you made?
I had to cut the wage bill by a lot of money, and we had to give youth a chance, and we definitely did that. And I think now we're seeing the rewards. A lot of the young players now are in the first team, and they're almost senior players. And the club is got to get back into the top division. It is in the top division now, and it's got to stay there. It's one of the biggest club, if not the biggest club in the world as far as the county is concerned. Surrey have been doing really well over the last 6-7 years now, winning everything. I think Yorkshire have got to try and get back to that winning momentum now. And financially now they should be okay, because obviously they've sold their half of the 100 and there's some money come in, and they should be able to do some of the work that needs doing around the ground, as well as being secure on the playing front. But there's a lot of hard work still to be done around the game, full stop, and let's see where it takes us over the next 5 years.
So when did you really start getting serious about golf?
Last 18 months really, where I've really started to play a lot more and really concentrate on trying to get my handicap down. I finished my job at Yorkshire, and I found myself in a bit of my dad had just died, and I wanted to do something that I could enjoy, take myself whether out on my own or with other people, and what better way to do it than golf? So that's how I started to get more serious about golf. I've always been a social golfer, play once a fortnight, once a month, and play charity days. But now, no matter what the weather's like, except for heavy rain, I tend to get out there once minimum, try to get twice a week.
So that when you finished up with Yorkshire, obviously your dad passing away as well, did that sort of help you sort of de-stress?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt it was something I needed. I think everybody should do something that takes them out of their everyday life. And for me, I've never really used that as a priority until probably 18 months ago. And then I started playing golf and I just love it. And I've always liked it, but now it's gone to another level. It's almost like my heaven. It's like a place where you just can go and play all the different courses. I mean, every course you play is different, and it's a challenge. And you never conquer golf.
No.
You absolutely never conquer it. One day I can hit it straight as anything. I turn up the next day, slice, draw. You know what I mean? Miss 2-foot putts, 3-foot putts.
Well, like we've seen even today, you come out and all of a sudden the temperatures drop by 10 degrees and you're 2 clubs shorter than you were last week.
Absolutely. Like I said today, you just turn up and we play golf and you're hitting balls and went, hang on a minute, I've absolutely drilled that and it's gone 200 yards with a driver. I don't even admit it because I would say my normal distance is anything between 250 and 300. That's where I hit my driver. And now today I'm thinking, I'm hitting it 220, 230.
And so with do you find there's your competitive edge from playing professional sport is still burning inside you? Want to be every time you're out there's like, I want to be winning, I want to be better, I want to beat the course, I want to beat whoever's next to me. Is that still a thing that you find?
I wouldn't say I'm a very relaxed golfer. Everybody I play with say I'm the most relaxed golfer ever. But obviously there's a desire to win. I'm playing in some pairs. I'm in a golf membership as well as being a golf member here at Centurion. I'm in a thing called the Ligo, right? Which it's got like 160 courses you can play. We have a club champs in Trump, Turnberry every year. We do a pairs competition and I'm in the semi-final of that this year, the pairs. Me and my partner, he's off 18, nice handicap. He protects his handicap well. But I started this tournament this year at 13, my handicap, now it's at 8. So there's a big difference over the tournament and people can't believe, oh, why you change your handicap? Why don't you just keep it at 13? Well, for me, that's not the idea. The idea is to get to be the best you can be at golf, right? And it's trying to get down a scratch. And a lot of us do that. Kevin Peterson's another one, he wants to get down a scratch. And I think it'll take me a few more years to get down there. It's not easy. Because once you're at this handicap, the winter comes and it's always harder playing in the winter anyway.
So when you're out playing, you start playing a ton more golf, a handicap tumbles down, so you're obviously improving and enjoying it. What do you find about golf that keeps you coming back and sort of helped you in a sort of de-stressing from sort of the high pressure environment you're in?
I like the social aspect of golf. You get to meet so many different people from all walks of life. Have a beer after or a coffee, whatever you choose. You talk about things with people that you've never even met.
So you mentioned earlier on about you played in the Dunhill Links, you've played in, so I bumped into you at the Live Pro-Am at JCB last summer, I think it was. And we were talking actually out on the golf course about you playing with Andy Murray and Kevin Peterson. And so are there any kind of highlights from those rounds, and both from the places that you've played, but also the people that you count as your teammates as well?
I play with some amazing people over the years. Certain pros have been magnificent. I played with Ernie Els in Hong Kong, which was unbelievable. Oh no, sorry. Was it Hong Kong? Might have been Hong Kong or Singapore. I can't quite remember which one it was. It was for HSBC. It was a huge golf day. There was me, Matt Letizia, and a guy called David Hurst who played, and it was his. So that was great, Ernie. I played with Sam Horsfield at the Dunhill. He was awesome. Young golf. He's now on the Live Tour, but he was on the European Tour there, up and coming. Great player, hits the ball a long way. But obviously I'm best mates with Kevin Peterson, so I play golf with him a lot. And we had a 4-ball at Wentworth, which was me and Andy Murray took on KP and some golf pro from America, which really were a bit biased, the selection there. The balls didn't land in my favour. Andy Murray plays golf 4 days a week, so he's pretty serious golfer. He's off 2. KP's off 2. Obviously the pro played off scratch, but he's like a +4. And I was off when I played with them 10. And we took it to the 18th, and Andy went first. He went into the trees on the right, and then he looked at me like to say, make sure you get it on the fairway. I went right as well in the trees, and we lost on the 18th. He was gutted.
And this is the 18th on the west course.
On the west, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's competitive, but I tell you what, funny as anything. I really enjoyed that 18 holes. It was one of the best rounds I've had actually for fun. I mean, KP and Andy Murray were at each other all the way around. But really enjoyed that, and I'm playing with Andy and seeing the mentality, playing an individual sport, the difference. You know, you can tell how individual sportsmen play compared to team play.
Okay, so
Do you know where I'm coming from?
Tell me about that.
Well, I play in a team sport, and we very much are about the team. The individual does well, he could win a game for you, obviously. That does come into it. You've got to play well as an individual to help the team. But with Andy, you've got to remember, he's played an individual sport, and they have to be on it. There's only them to blame. There's no one else. And they do have that competitive edge. I actually love it. I think the way they're thinking is always about just winning.
So I've had the pleasure of playing the West, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times. And as a sort of average club golfer, I stand on that first tee when they stop the traffic, and you start all of a
And
sudden,
they're all on the putting green.
Exactly. You realise that you can hit everybody on the left, you can hit the car that's down there. I have to carry the road, so I stand there and my heart's going like the clappers. Is that still nerve-wracking for you, or do you get used to that?
No, still nerve-wracking every time I play in a pro-am and there's an audience. But I do the breath work.
Okay.
Secret breath work. Breathe through my nose. Hold for 4. Breathe out for 4. As far as golf is concerned, I've played some of the most ridiculous golf courses. In fact, it's getting harder and harder to pick 5 or 10. I mean, I could pick 20. Some of the courses I've been lucky enough to play, it's ridiculous. I mean, just this year, Apes Hill in Barbados, which was out of this world, played in the Legends Tour there, the old boys. Well, my age. They're all 50 plus, right? So I could play in that. I played in that with my 2 sons. We were on holiday and they invited me to play, so I played Apes Hill. That was fantastic. Trump Aberdeen, I think, is out of this world. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's one of them where you go to a golf course sometimes. I mean, even Wentworth, you could take a picture probably 3 or 4 holes. Trump Aberdeen, you could take 18 pictures. And then it'd be totally different the next time you play. The wind would be blowing, so it plays totally different. So those 2 for me this year have just been out of this world. I went to Old Ed, another one in Ireland, in Cork. Have you seen that one? I mean, what a course that is. I mean, it's just out of this world.
So just a quick question on, so you played an awful lot of golf at a good level. Are there any bits about the rules of golf generally that you would change, or have you got an unpopular opinion about anything in golf? You know what, I know everybody thinks this, but...
Yeah, there's still a few things that really bug me in modern day world, like no trainers in the clubhouse or whatever. So you have to wear shoes. Odd golf clubs still like that.
Luckily, I'm not here.
Yeah, not here. Well, that's why I joined here.
Yes.
Another one was you still have to wear a blazer when you go in some clubhouse. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just those old rules that in 20 years we're going to totally forget about them. I think that generation is kind of going. My granddad used to walk around in a tie every single day. My dad never wore a tie. I don't wear a tie. I don't like a tie. But obviously you have to go to certain events still, your black tie events, you go to an event and you have to put a tie on. I can't wait. Within 5 minutes, as soon as I sit down, it's off.
Yes.
You know, and I think golf clubs have got to realise now the modern person around the world just want to turn up and it want to be a relaxing place. It's not some gentleman's club. Should be open for everyone. And people, I'm not saying you should be able to rock up in jeans. You've still got to be smart. But trainers these days are pretty smart, you know. I don't realise, even on the Pro Tour, I don't understand why shorts are still not acceptable. 100 degrees and they're walking around in trousers. I mean, come on.
So this is the Stuart Golf podcast, so it would be remiss of us not to talk about trolleys just a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I took this from our office wall. So I took that photograph of you, I think in about 2010, in your back garden, when I don't know if this was actually your first trolleys or not, but I think that means that we're about probably 15 years into you being a Stuart Golf customer. So going back to the start of it, I actually can't remember how you came to become a Stuart Golf customer in the first place. Can you remember sort of what it was that that got you into our brand in the first place?
Well, like I said, you're always looking for a trolley, and I think the first thing I remember, and that is my first trolley actually, it's the black one, isn't it?
Yes.
So that's the first one, which is inscribed. I've still got that.
Yes.
And it still works. 15 years old, still use it now and again. It's like having an old car, isn't it? Classic car. You take it out now and again. You put the new one in there, just leave it out in the garage for the day. Take the old one out, give it a little run.
If the sun's out.
Yeah, and I do like it. And I think what attracted me first was the look of it. It looked really sharp and it stood out. When I remember when I first started using that first one, people all said, "Oh, I've not seen that trolley before." They were all the same shape before, weren't they? And they all looked like each other. And this was the first trolley what looked different to any other trolley. And I like to be different, so it was perfect for me.
So obviously we've been developing the product as we've gone
To the
through.
follow, I went and got the follow then, the first follow you had.
So with all the obviously we talked a little bit about the physical benefits of golf and the mental health benefits. Where does the trolley come into this? So when you're playing, talk to me about why it's useful for you on the golf course.
Well, I like to walk. I think we all become lazy. When we turn up at corporate days and the buggies are all there, you jump in them. And I believe by having a buggy, it takes out conversation with two other people. That's what it does for me. And the idea of playing golf is it's a sociable sport and you all should walk. Now, I can't carry. I've got a metal femur, which causes me a lot of pain from an injury from my cricketing days. And my knee swells up quite quickly, but I want to walk. So I've got to have a trolley, and I want a trolley that looks good, right? Because we all have an image, and the trolley matches, it gets me to exercise, and it looks good, so why wouldn't I? And that's the way I use it. It has so many benefits of walking. I still get in a terrible habit of trying to keep my hand on it. When it's got the follow, it can follow me, or I can stand behind it and I can send it off at different speeds in front of me. But for some reason, I still have that stupid habit of holding onto it and walking with it, and you're almost pushing it and pulling it side to side. So when I do that now and again, it still can affect my knee. So I've just got to keep telling myself, I want to put something on it in writing. Do not hold, let it follow.
Well, I'm all out of questions, Darren. I really appreciate your time. This has been really good. Thank you for joining us on the podcast.
No problem, thank you.